Amazing. My name is Orlia Moore, and I'm here to introduce you to your speaker this evening. His name is Abdul Rehman, and he is the FailProof business speaker. Let me tell you a little bit about your host this evening. Abdul Rehman was born in Pakistan and immigrated to the United States in 2015. He is married to his beautiful wife, Ariadna, of 16 years, and has 3 amazing kids, Katushka, 22, a medical student, wow, right, awesome, Marcella, 20, studying business administration, and Brianna, 19, studying in forensic psychology. He graduated from the University of the Punjab, where he got his bachelor's in business sciences in 2000. Abdul is the founder of DINAMIKA, with a K, School of Entrepreneurs, which offers free 100 days courses to anyone who wants to succeed as a business and at business and making money. As a professor of entrepreneurship, author, and international public speaker, he has awakened an entrepreneurial spirit in hundreds of his students and helped dozens of corporate teams achieve higher goals. After earning his degree in business sciences, he set a quest for his life to answer one big question: why over 90% of businesses fail? He lived in different parts of the world, from South Asia to the Middle East to Europe to Latin America, read every book he could, met great teachers, mentors, and successful family business owners, and learned their secrets of nurturing younger generations from childhood. But the real magic occurred when he discovered his own FailProof Formula, which is a new approach of teaching business through practical methodology. He calls it the DINAMIKA Class. Please help me welcome your host, Abdul Rehman.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
It's morning in China, isn't it? That was a joke. You didn't get it.
I did.
Fail-proof business formula to save your business. That's what I'm going to talk about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on a small journey. When and how it all started, somewhere in my childhood, and then when all the questions and thoughts and frustrations and inspirations became a kind of quest, like Orly just said. A quest for my life, that I wanted to answer one big question: why the heck so many businesses fail? And then to the last part, where all my research findings, my study, and my personal practical experiments that I did over 2,500 students, and it became DINAMIKA Class, which is today an institution, DINAMIKA School of Entrepreneurs, which I'm trying to stand up and build, and it's a nonprofit. So thank you so much for being here tonight, all of you. It's not just me a lot, but everything to me. And thank you, Orly, for this beautiful introduction. I'm humbled. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So, I sometimes speak fast, and so please bear with that. And my mind tells I don't have any accent, but people have told me you do, so I can take the blame. But I like the numbers. And according to numbers, every 5th person in New York is either East Asian, Middle Eastern, South Asian, or have some kind of accent. So if you cannot understand what I'm saying right now, you should take a little bit of blame and start making some friends with accents so that you better understand me next time. And I may say things that are challenging sometimes, and I know people don't like challenge. Oh my God, no, please don't challenge us, no. Don't be Trump, be Obama. I know, but without challenges in life, you cannot move forward, you cannot go further in our life. So I'm not going to share all the challenges here so that you all just run away right away. but I'm going to share one challenge right here so that you know why these challenges are important. Are you interested to know what?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm going to talk to you now. So, for past 25, 30 years, maybe 40 years, in my observation, not before that, but this something that I'm about to share just spread all over to every marketing book, even the textbooks, to business books, to a lot of speakers and gurus and teachers, great teachers. I mean, I respect them, I'm not against anyone. And the message goes, first impression is the last impression. And just so many people hold it so tight, and I take 100%, if not full responsibility. This statement has something to do with the whole thing. It's not true. It's 100% not true. The world does not work that way. But masses take this message so hard and hold it so much and limit themselves because first impression is the last impression. Whereas the masters knows that they have the power to change that impression. They live in a different world. So they have control on the second or the third impression or the fourth impression. And once you have that good impression, then you can build that up. Let me give you an example. You can say, okay, that's very nice, mister, what you just said. You just blew up past 45 years, everybody have just heard about it. So here are two kids who just went to kindergarten. The very first day they had a fight. You chew my pencil, you broke my rubber. And then teachers couldn't help them, separate them in every class because they just couldn't stand with each other, just fighting all the time. Obviously it was a bad impression. The first impression was the bad. So for first 4 or 5 years in that school, they just couldn't stand each other. They just wanted to see each other. And then one day, somewhere in junior school, they were standing in a bus station, or rain was standing. So the one says, you can take my umbrella. And the other came over also, you want to have a piece of gum? Yeah, why not? And they chewed the gum and they became friends. And then they remained friends up until the end of their high school, when they were having the group studies. Tomorrow's a presentation, I'm going to do the best thing. They were sharing the ideas enthusiastically, everybody just ready. But next morning, one of them got A+, another was just blew up. I don't want to share the grade. And then that night they had fight again. You stole my ideas, those are my ideas, you just presented them and I just couldn't get that. And the other who got A+, he said, you stole my ideas as well, you just didn't present well, you just blew up, take that. You have second chance, it's not the end of the world. No, I never want to see you again. So the second time they fought again, and then they didn't speak with each other for many, many years. And then one day, when they grew up, they met each other maybe on a bus station, in a church or some meeting or somewhere, where they just came closer to each other. Hi, how are you doing? You want to try a piece of a gum? And the other says, yeah, why not? And start chewing it. They become friends again. And guess what? They got married, and they had many, many times, I love you and I hate you, I love you and hate you, but that's how they spent 60 years together, and then they went away. That's one example, and that's two relationship. Talk about something in the real world. Where if you just read a little bit history, France and Germany and England and Ireland and many, even Spain and Ecuador, when you read all those countries were brutal enemies. They grew up. They had those bad impressions of each other. You killed our ancestors, you did this to us. But today it's all peace. In fact, the World War II, the biggest thing that happened in World War II in Nagasaki, Hiroshima, atomic bomb. Japan and the United States were the brutal enemy of the world. So that's the biggest thing. I cannot give you the more bigger example than this. Within 10 years, they found no. They have to be together. They have to find something. So this cannot happen. And I think even today, they're one of the best friends. So I know there are some people, when I speak to the people and I say, you have this business, well, you should go to China. You should look over the Chinese. They have that bad impression for whatever they read someone or just personally with someone. Not really. Well, that's 1.6 billion people. I'm not talking about a niche market to open. And then all of a sudden, yeah. And then other people, I don't like Indians because, they're just too much curry and that smell, man. That's 1.3 billion people. It's not even a small market either. And other people say Arabs, oh, well, that's 750 million people. And then we know that in this country that, recently the Spanish is going a lot, and that's 600 million people. So many people just limit themselves. Where do you want to do the business? US, Canada, and Europe, that's it. There are other places. If you want to grow your business, you have to be out of the box. You have to let go of this phrase of first impression is last impression. And once again, according to numbers, 90% of the time, first impression is not the impression that you really wanted to give. Only 10% of the time you meet the right person on the right time and giving the right message, the person impress, tell me what you have. But 90% is blew up. So the masters knows that the first impression is not the last impression. If it is not good, let's do our homework, find out everything about that person, that company, or whatever. Let's do something and have the second impression that would make them really come close to us. And that's what we're seeing in the business world also. All the businesses who've been competitive with each other for years, if not decades. And then they're taking their clients, and then they're taking their clients. And it's fight, and people are seeing that. In the end, they have mergers. If you go and you check the mergers, I mean, recent merger is AT&T and Warner Cable. For decades, brutally fighting, competitors, bad impression, busted away. They met each other somewhere in the Starbucks. Hey, why not have all of them? Let's merge. And then they did. And today, all the Warner Brothers and all that are together. 70% of Windows users, I mean Apple users, were once Windows users. Because Windows had that bad impression one after another that people one day lost, and they said, you know, they have something else. They have to go to something else. But Apple from the day one giving you the best computers, according to them, I mean, and I also believe that, they started getting all those Windows users, and today it's one of the greatest companies that we know today. A lot of people would be complaining about them and everything, but the thing is that Windows really blew up. They really couldn't get what people were looking for. So, what I'm about to share is that how this first impression, if you couldn't give the first impression the good, but now you go for the second impression or maybe the third impression, if you cannot have that third impression yourself, it's better to hire someone who can have that impression for you on them, but you want to have that. Why? Because once you have that good impression on someone, it's your responsibility to maintain that. Once you have that good impression, your clients feel secure. If your clients are not feeling secure, they are just there hanging around, they don't know what's going on. And I know that a lot of people I met in past 10, 15 years, and I see that they have a lot of followings that, you know, we were just talking about it. They have fan clubs. They don't have that community, they don't have that real network. That tells me to tell them that your whatever the network or community that whatever that you believe in, they're not feeling secure with it. Your first impression that you put on them, you did not maintain that. To the level you maintain that good impression on your clients is the level of their trust on you. Trust is everything in business. The second you don't have that trust, it's called ripping off. And last I read, ripping off is stealing, and I haven't met anyone who did not agree, thou shalt not steal. Everyone. So you have to have that trust building. So you make people feel secure. The level of their security made them trust you. The more trust you have, the more business you have. And another thing, when you have that trust built, they see your business and you as an honest business, honest person. And all the people around the world, not just your client, who are also honest, they love you. And all the people around you who are not 100% honest, doing, you know, this and that a little bit, but they want to be like you, they respect you, they get inspiration from you, they want to be like you. And all the people around you in the world who are dishonest and want to remain dishonest, they hate you. And that's okay. You cannot get everyone for everything from everyone. So, the one example that I just gave, Apple from the beginning is a great company and is known as honest companies. From the day one, they're telling us, we're going to sell you this, but we're going to charge you this. There is no hidden thing going on in Apple. But we just spoke about that we don't like Facebook. And there's a reason. When I ask people why don't you like Facebook, they cannot really answer. The answer is that for a long time, Facebook never told anybody that anything that we are giving you, at any point, we're going to start charging you. They said it's all free. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's this, whether it's that, it's just free because they want to have that billion people coming in. And then one day they decided to start putting on, people have lost their trust on Facebook. They don't have another option. Otherwise, everybody is moving today. So when you are dishonest and then you get so many people coming to you and then you make so much money, and then what happens, the next thing is because you have an inner world inside you, we talk to you every day, but I got so much money, dishonesty, what you do then? You become a philanthropist. You want to cure every disease on the world. You want to start another non-profit. You want to do all that. So, somehow, I'm not that bad, I'm not against Facebook. Because now I see in past 3 years, they've been changing their strategy. They're not telling people now that we're going to give you and we're going to start charging you. But they didn't do it in the beginning. So people are just like Windows to maybe someday, and I think LinkedIn from the day one is telling you, this is free, this is not free, this is what we charge you. I think it's an honest business. So the phrase that you want to change in your mind is that you can change the impression. You have the power if you want to. Then sticking with the same phrase, the first impression is the last impression, it's most certainly not. So that's with the one challenge that I tell people, and I know people stand up and say, all right, but I give you enough examples that it's not true. And I have a list of these things that I call the bad education, which I actually teach during the DINAMIKA class with the school that I'm building. And within 90 days, we help people go through all these bad education and then literally live them, not just, listen to all them. So you can talk about to me if you want to know about that later. I can show you my other programs about that. So enough with that. And if you just take this from tonight, from this talk, I think that would be great. Your homework is that go home, just make a list of 5 people that you think have a bad impression on you, or you left bad impression on them. But you had that first ice breaking. If you go and you say hi to them, they will say hi back to you because they already know you. Just make 5 and then just think about what can I do to make this person have that second impression even better. That's what all these big businessmen do. That's what all these masters do, and that's how they have the business mergers, because they want to give themselves and other people a second chance. All you need is the love. Whoever said that, I love that.
The Beatles.
Thank you. Because this is what they are looking. And this is what you are looking. But that first impression thing is just stopping you. You go ahead and do that, you will thank me later how many doors will open by just meeting someone who had just bad impression of you. They would just want to come back to you. Anyways, let's go back to my childhood. I grew up in Saudi Arabia. My dad living there, and he's on the peak of his career at that time. And he's working for an American company, obviously oil company. And the company, their project finished, basically. And so my dad, he thought he had enough money and whatever. He cannot get another job as big as this one. Let's go back to home, which is the poorest country on the face of earth, one of the poorest, Pakistan. And he did, and we all migrated over there. So for my dad and for mom, they're just coming back to home because they were migrated, they went over there, they lived a high-fi life. But I grew up in the richest country, and now I'm in the poorest country, and we have 4 brothers and sisters. So we're all having different types of shocks every day, the language shock, the religious shock, the people shock, the schooling shock, the society and the friends. And where is all that family members coming on? It's every minute. So we were having shocks everywhere, and my brothers and sisters, they had reacted differently to this migration. But I didn't, become like a rebel or, fighting and all that. I became Mr. Quiet. And I became Mr. Run-Up. So I'm running from the school, I'm running from the classes, I'm running from the ground, I'm running from the home. Why did this happen to me? What this and where are we now? What happened? There may be some mistake. So the only person that I can speak this, what's going on inside me, is just my mom. And I'm observing from that childhood, because I become so quiet, that what is the life track that makes people successful and other not, and what maybe somewhere my dad made a mistake. This is going on inside me. And the only person I'm speaking is my mom. So I'm looking at politicians on the TV, obviously I'm not that rich. And I'm talking to my wife, and she said, do you know how much money they make, and they make with corruption and all that? I said, no, I don't want to be corrupt. Yeah, that's not a good path. And I'm looking at people who are working in government jobs. When my dad left the country, they were in the same place. The graph of success was the same. But today they are here. My dad is here. What happened? And then I found they have the bribes and the bad meetings to make money, because when you're in government you get all those contracts. And I said, no, that's also not good. I don't want to be like that. My dad is an honest person. I want to be like him. But he did make mistakes. So the only option every time I'm seeing is the business people. I'm looking at the people who started from there. They were just selling on bicycles someplace to someplace. Today they have stores and they have business, probably factories. My dad came back after 25 years, and my mom is saying, look, honey, there are certain people who do business, there are certain people who do jobs. We are meant to do the jobs. You remember the status of your dad? I said, yes. Richest country? Yes. Now you're in the poorest. He's doing businesses, but he's blowing up, right? You also will blow up, make up your mind, study, you're gonna get a job, maybe in Saudi Arabia, maybe in Dubai somewhere, and just live your life over there. Something inside me telling me, So after all those run-ups and all that, finally, and I'm 12 at that time. When we migrated, I'm just 12. So at the age of 14, I started my first business. And I borrowed the money from same mom and my other aunt and other aunt. I somehow that I had more connection with women than men. They trusted me, they gave me their money. And it was a seasonal business, but I made a ton of money. I gave her 200% back, 200% back, 200% back. I had money in my pocket also. Yes, you see that, Mom? We do business. So, but she said, okay, but you're very good, honey, everything, but you still need to finish. But I'm still telling you, you gotta go in, you gotta do the job. It's not enough. Because certain families who does that. Anyways, I said in my mind, I don't believe that. Anyways, I finished my study and I started another business, all of very cocky and elated, everything is fine. But I didn't have one break even up until 1 year. I got hit every second, every minute by, I made a mistake with wrong partner, wrong business, wrong place, everything. But I learned. Everybody learned hard way, I learned hard way. If someone tells you, you don't have to learn everything hard way, you can learn from other experience. I haven't met any person. Everybody will learn from their own hard experience. Nobody want to learn from other people because we cannot understand. We say, their scenario was different, I'm different. Anyways, that was the time when I said, there's something business I really, whatever the school taught me is nothing. I have to learn on my own. And every book that I could get, every teacher that I met, every person, and mostly I'm reaching to rich people and ask them how, what's going on. But I'm not getting the answers. That really why, Then finally I started another third business. I did every knowledge that I would, I'm gonna start, and it was student recruiting to other universities of the world. I said, that's it, that's what I'm gonna do. So I had my cousin be my partner, another person be partner, we had a team of 3, all enthusiastic. We did really good money, businesses blow me. And not a lot of people know that 9/11 was not just the hardest day in US, it was the hardest day for us also, because in another 6 months we had 30 people appearing in different embassies to get the visas, all were rejected. So how the hell when you do every bit of homework and everything and you started blooming now and you're still flat? So that was the time I said, I better move somewhere else. Pakistan is just no more. But I literally thought 9/11 is the end. This country is never going to stand over again because what they did or whoever did that, that's the end. You should literally put your hand in the mouth of lion. The US and where Pakistan is not good. And my other friends also everybody started thinking to move the country. But I'm still learning from the people, and right before I'm leaving, I met a guy who belonged to a very rich family. And, for whatever, I just had to share with him in some way. I said, my mom always said that there are certain families who do businesses, certain families do just a job. And we belong to a job person. And he looked at me. He was not that interested by that time. And he said, you know what?
there is some truth in what your mom is saying. It's not 100% wrong. And I say, I'm interested, I want to know, because I don't think. He said, I don't have that much time now, but we should continue, we should meet. So I spent another 10 days with this guy, learning every day 1-2 hours with him. And this is what he shared. I'm not going to go every detail, but I'm just going to give you a glimpse of those 10 days that I spent with him. What was that? And that's a Sheikh family in Pakistan. If you can ask anyone, it's a known family. The family does business and they are the second richest family in Pakistan. One is Rehman, other is Sheikh. So everybody knows that. It's a family that does business. He said, when I was 5 years old, every day, every other day, you ask your parents a pocket money. So I was 5, I said, Daddy, you're giving me less pocket money. Give me more pocket money. He said, great, that's the time to sit down together. He put a chair in front of me and said, okay, let's do business. You want more money? Great. If you spend one weekend with me in another year, 3 months vacation that you have from your kindergarten, I will give you this. If you go 2 weekends, I will give you this. If you go 4 weekends, I will give you this. What do you want to do, son? He said, I will go for 4. At the age of 5, the dad took his son to his business, and all he had to do is to sit with dad for 4 or 5 hours, nothing else, on just weekends, nothing else. He said, when I turned 6, he took me again on the summer vacation because I said, Dad, I want more pocket money. He said, great, let's do the business. So instead of 4 weekends, now let's do 8 weekends. But every time someone comes into the business, you have to open the door, you have to greet them, and you have to ask them, what particularly have brought you to our business today? And if they say it's the customer service, you take them to the customer service. If it says, we have complaints, you take them to the complaint office. I want to see the manager, you take them to my room. That's all. At the age of 6, this guy is doing this 4 or 5 hours, only weekends. So at the 7, something else. At the 8, something else. At the 9, now he's spending his entire summer vacation with dad 2, 3, 4 hours every day. And at the age 12, his dad said, this is the time. You ask for a loan, I give you a loan. Either I will take equity from your business, or you can give me some interest on that. But you have to start your own business within my business. So something outside, maybe a stall or something. So, it's not your own business, but it's your business and my business. And if you fall and everything, we will still help you, but you'll have to do it. So at the age 12, he did that. And at the age 14, he had to literally separate his own business and start it. Dad says, that's your own business, you take care of that. So this guy now has a series of gold jewelry stores in entire street of Dubai in Saudi Arabia. The last I met him, it was 2005, and he sent me his photo. This is my son turned 5. Nothing else. So that I know that this is what's gonna happen to his son now. That was like an opening to my mind. Oh my God. And I found there's another family in Pakistan who does the same thing. They have their own way to teach their kids. And then I said, let me take a look. And I found in the entire world there are families like this, that they teach their children in a very different way. And there are actually 8 big families that own everything on planet. Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Pepsi and all that we know. These are, we call them business, but these are actually families. They have different trainings to their children that we don't even know about. And I just, happened to interview these people, and somehow, do you know someone in the family of Johnson & Johnson? Someone, so I could meet someone, and I met a guy online, I've never seen him, who actually learned all that from these families, and now help people do the same, what the richest teach to their children. And the only book that I want to recommend tonight is called The Family Wealth by James Hughes. This is the guy. So the Family Wealth book, written by James Hughes, the book tells you that every family can have a trust, that you put the money on it, and then all those next generation who's now 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, instead of going to the banks, instead of going to the investors, instead of running, where can I start my business, that trust can help them at least start their business. And everybody in the family who's in the business, now they can mentor their own children instead of they're looking for where are the mentors. So they never fail. And it started making sense to me. Oh my God, my mom said that, and now this guy is saying that
maybe she's also right that there are some families who are meant to do business because they nurture their children differently. It's not that not everybody can do business, but their nurture is different and our nurture is different. And now I understood that if 9/11 happened to me, there was nobody to mentor me at that time. There was no trust for me that could push me at that time. There was no way that I could just switch my business to Indonesia, Malaysia, and then do business from there. So I had to fall. Makes sense. And then I said, oh my God, if this is it, how can I help this message go to the world? That was the time when that quest started inside me. Why so many businesses fail, and what can I do for that? And I left, my country, and now I'm reading books, and that's the time of internet and Amazon. I'm downloading books, I'm learning. YouTube started, I'm getting from there. There are public speakers, I'm reaching them. I'm trying to learn everything about the businesses. And once again, I know now that how many people don't know that they don't know that there is something missing. Everybody's talking, you have to start from the why, you have to start from the vision, you have to have a dream. And can you see all of this that I'm sharing with you? I don't have any dream. Life itself is pushing me, doing something to me, merging me within a dream. See, I'm one of the person, is one of my another challenge, that I believe that nobody has a dream. There is a dream somewhere in the cosmos that is having you. If you have something inside you, and everybody has that, and if you have something inside you to respond to that dream and you stand up, you can make that dream manifest. It's not that you have a dream and then you go behind it. If everybody has to come and tell you, you gotta have a dream, well, there is a dream inside you, or there's a dream somewhere that is pulling you, asking you for many, many years, and you may be rejecting it because I don't love that or I don't have that. You do, because that dream is gonna stay with you for a long time. It's gonna be a voice inside you, and if you don't, one day it's gonna be transferred to someone else, and it happens. Anyways, I'm studying, and now I said, let me focus on other side, and let's see, is there any other area of education where success rate of professionals is higher? And that's where my real research started of my own. And I said, let me check the doctors. And I see in every medical school all over the world, some places it's 5 years medical school, India and Pakistan. Some areas is 6 years Europe, some area is 8, 9 years like China, and somewhere like US, it's 12 years that you become doctor. So for first 5, 6 years in US, a medical student would study everything about medicine through books, through case studies, through their professors, through surgeons, through greater doctors. But then after that, they have to go in a real world hospital emergency ward right there, boom. That's how their career starts. For another 6 years, they have to see the blood coming out of the people, the legs are broken, the brain is coming out. If they can't take that, if their hands are shaking, they're not good. Their seniors will come and tap their shoulder. Man or gentleman, this is not a right profession for you. It's time to change. What you study, that's enough. This is not for you. Or you will have to get better at it. So for 6 years now, they have a practical education. Remember those families? They're giving a practical education. The doctors are getting for 6 years practical education. Why? Because it's the matter of someone's life. Imagine someone studied everything about medicine, read everything on it, took all the online podcasts, have every app on his cell phone, but have never touched a person's pulse. Would you go and say, just do, check my nerves and tell me, or do an open heart surgery? Or think like a child. Come up with your own ideas. How can you do your own open heart surgery and you become a great surgeon? The world will cry, no, you haven't done that. Even if you do that, the dummy thing, which is now in many medical schools, they will still not allow. No, because you haven't done that on real person. So it's a matter of life. They won't allow you to do that. Okay, I said, let me go and see what's going on with the accountants. I went into the accounting school, start checking all the curriculums all over the world in different universities. So you do your debit and credit and liabilities and balance sheets and everything for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years in a university. And after that, you have to go out and find your own accountancy firm. You apply there, and for another 4 years, day and night, and late night, you do the debit and credit and balance sheets for 4 years before you become a chartered accountant. And all those chartered accountants who fail, they fail within the first 2 years of that practical education and go home and they say, we give up, we can't do that. And those who survive for the 3rd year, the 4th year, they become the chartered, and chartered accountants get the highest salary in the world. That's why. They have the hardest practical education, not the book education. And I'm making notes. I said, oh my God, I'm on something, I'm getting something. I said, let me go and take a look at the lawyers. The lawyers, even the first year of their education, which is from the book, and they've read the fattest book, but from the first year, they have to have a suit and tie and everything. They are ready. They have to go in a real court, in front of a real judge, and they have real criminals sitting with them that they are filing, and they have to come up with their own answers, whether this person is criminal or not, or whatever that is, and they have to speak up to the Your Honor. My point is this, and can I get? So from the first year, they want to have that confidence, they want to have that personality, can you speak, can you fight, can you immediately come up with a new idea that can change the case upside down? If not, all the lawyers who are looking at you, they say, I don't want to have him in my house, after that. And someone who's very upfront, showing that he's someone, they will say to the secretary, start telling him to come in our office, we want to have him as. So the lawyers for 4 years, the way they become, or 5 years in some cases, they have to be in real court. Their practical education is day in, day out, and it's very stressful. And I said, I did one more research, and I said, let me see the pilots. And I found the pilots would only study 2 hours, and rest of the 15 hours in a week, they have to be in the backseat of that plane where they are in the air, right? 15 days right from the beginning. So the more the profession is practical, the more the practical education is emphasized on them, and they have to go through it. If they cannot take the heights, they're not good with that. They cannot control their nerves. They know the avion is going down. Man, you can't be pilot. Sorry. Better try helicopter or something. You can't be. So the more it's practical, the more education was practically given to them. So 1 year you get the license to fly a plane is because out of those 1 year, maybe 300 days, you are actually flying the plane. And I said, that's it. And I started looking all the business programs, whether it's Oxford, whether it's Harvard, whether any university in the world, whether any MBA in the world. Where is the practical? Wherever in the world you go for a business education, there are case studies upon case studies, there are books upon books, there are presentations upon presentations. They think like a child, come up with your own ideas. Yes, you can. There's an entrepreneur inside you. Yes, you can do it. And you can be the next big thing. Yeah, I have this, there's a problem, you're gonna do that. Great, we're gonna help you get paid. Let's bring the panel of investors. The investors are sitting over there. Yeah, okay, not you want, not that one. Okay, take my 5 million and that's gone. And then in 15 days, the money's gone. Because that child haven't went outside and made a single dollar with his own. Because it's not a matter of life, you give him tons of money to come up with your own ideas and do that, but you haven't checked that this person is good at business or not. Have you given him the training or not? It was very interesting. I tried to reach some university and they said, we do have internship programs, we do have programs like this. I said, yeah, I understand that, but what's the practice? Anyways, now, that is a time when I'm also living in Saudi Arabia, and like I want to share again. I started chatting with my wife, and then we decided to meet each other, and we met in Cyprus. And within those 10 days, we found that we are made for each other, and then we got married, and I couldn't go to the United States immediately. So we decided that we better live in Ecuador, which is our home country. And she said, there's nobody speaks English over there. Don't live in a dream. You live in Saudi Arabia, you're better over there. Once you get the immigration, then you can go ahead. I said, come on, this is 2005, are you kidding me? People speak English all over the world. I'm telling you, that's a different world that you're going. I will still go because I don't want to live without it. So finally, we did everything. Within 6 months, 7 months, we were in Ecuador, and it was hard. I only knew one word in Spanish, hola, and I was used to say hola. I didn't know the H is silent. So hola, ¿cómo estás? And literally, I'm applying jobs, I'm trying everything, blowing up. If you're not bilingual, don't even come to close. And I have that high profile, I work for great companies. Not here. I gave up, I don't know what to do, waking up late, literally almost started smoking again and everything. Well, I'm not smoking for 15 years, I literally quit, but I just came out. Finally, what I did is that I started giving English tuition, conversation English classes, because I was not a teacher, but I said, you come and you have conversation with me, you can gain confidence and all that. I met a great lady, she later made me dean of her school. She was the owner of the school, wanted to practice our English. Great. But then one day I saw that ad in a newspaper, there was a total English ad from a university. I said, this English in this country. Great. So I had this recruiting business when I was back in Pakistan. I said, maybe I can connect with this university, and then maybe I can help them get some students from my country. Just let apply. There was not even a job or something. It was just ad and totally English. So I sent an email, wrote in English, and I said, can I get a chance to get an interview? And we are going to our beach house in after 15 minutes. And it's Friday night, evening. And I sent that email, and now we are in a beach house, there's no internet over there, there's nothing, we're just having fun and all that. Monday morning I came back, I have 3 emails replies. And all of a sudden I said, honey, there's a reply here, and she's keep asking you, can you come for an interview? And I just said, I'm coming at 4, so I'm just here. So I went inside, I'm shaved, I'm getting ready, my suit, tie, and everything, I'm there. She said, come on, I want to see you. 4:30, I'm inside the university. University looked amazing. Found out that was the best university in Ecuador. And I have that briefcase, I'm going to the dean, I'm going to meet her, to try to get a chance if I can recruit some student from Pakistan. I'm a marketer. And she was a tough dean. She took 20 minutes of my interview, pick up my mind, know if this guy inside and outside the same, or he's just some other doofus coming in my house. That was the toughest interview.
What's yours?
After 15 minutes, after 20 minutes, she said, Abdul, that's great, everything that you've shared, I love that, everything is fine. Are you willing to teach here? Something just came up inside me, and I said, yes. I have no teaching experience, I don't know how to teach and everything. Maybe sometimes I spoke with my friend, became like their advisor, that everyone is. But no teaching experience. She said, great, right there, let me take you to my director office. So she took me to director office, director took another 30 minutes interview because he thought what she knows, I will check the guy. So he took my interview and finally said, okay, we have this list and you can teach. And I open up at that one. I said, I don't have any formal teaching experience before. You guys know that I have this profile, I've lived all over the world. But so he said, don't worry, this is June, the classes are starting in September. You are most welcome to come here, we have a library. I say, I want to meet the students, I want this. Within these 3 months, I said, oh my God, my life is now putting me, everything that I've learned about business and everything like practicality and everything that I wanted to fight and everything, is now giving me a chance to go ahead and apply and check and do the experiment whether this thing works on real students or not. I went back to the university, I said, I'm 100% now ready, provided that you give me a free hand. The guy says, what's a free hand? I said, I will divide my every course into theory and practical. He said, what do you mean the practical? I said, whatever that they will learn in this class, they will have to do something in real world to know if this really works or not. He said, wow, that's great. We need teachers like you more. Man, come on, let's do it. He gave me more confidence. First day in my classroom, I started doing the theory and everything, and I explained how this class is going to go. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give them some practical. So we study something in marketing, the hoax marketing, that you create something out of nothing and you call people to it, nobody knows what it is, and then finally they know what that is. It's a hoax. And I said, okay, that's a great thing. We're going to create a hoax. And I want to give you a name. You've got to have some special name. So brainstorming, start coming up with the ideas. So everybody's saying, we want to be the Avengers, no, we want to be the Spider-Mans, we want this. There's one girl, I can still see that in my mind, so clear, the memory vivid, sitting over there, Maria the Lourdes, and she said, DINAMIKA. I said, is that dynamic in English? Yes. What do you guys say about it? I have about 35, 40 students in the class. Yes, we are the DINAMIKA. Great. So we created a hoax in the classroom that start telling the university, word by word, that Shakira is coming in the university and that's going to be DINAMIKA. And second hoax that we created is that there's an election in the country. We're going to have some election campaign going on in university. That's going to be DINAMIKA. But we're not going to tell everyone. Finally, we're going to come out that we are DINAMIKA. So we did that for 21 days. We made, the signs and everything, and we saw that people are really gossiping about DINAMIKA. Shakira, we know about that. It's coming. It's on that. And that day, my entire class came out with wearing a DINAMIKA shirt. I still have one. And they just came outside and started telling everyone, we are the DINAMIKA. The impression was so amazing that all of a sudden they said, oh my God, great. And wherever they're going, people started clapping and everything. Next day when I came into the university, I didn't know. I became a DINAMIKA professor. My class was known as the DINAMIKA class, and my students were known as the DINAMIKA students. So then, one after another, for at least for 1 year, I gave different practical experiences to my students, literally experiential. We have a DINAMIKA smoke-free day, so we're helping everyone not smoke today. We're breaking them and giving them $10 in return or something, Or we have a DINAMIKA green day, so what we are doing, you give us $1, we put one plant in you, make the thing. So very small projects like that, and students are doing it, they're enthusiastic. And some of them are just getting ideas from just this little things. They're going to say, we want to do this in our office, we want to do this in our corporate. Just because they're learning through practical, they were doing things differently in their real lives. After 1 year, with a very shaky hands, I was asking myself the question, if they can do this, can they make money through it? Can I jump into the real thing? It's a university, I'm a professor, I can't do that. It's the chat going on inside me, and I said, let's do it, man. So the first ever thing practical that I gave to my students was $500. I said, you're not gonna earn that, you're gonna profit that. And you're gonna do it from scratch. It's not that you lend it and then you do it. Start brainstorming now. And you're right, they earned that. Before time, so I said the date is still coming. I mean, the goal date is far. Before time, they earned 500, and by the time it was the goal, they double, tripled it. They had $1,500. They went home, they made some chocolates, design and all that, put it in a thing, make it cute, sold it $1, $1. We have university at any time, we had 2,000 students. So we have the little market also. We have everything that you can find anywhere. But nobody has power to do that, but they got that through the DINAMIKA. So every project was known as DINAMIKA, so they did. I said 500, let's go for 1,000. So next class I have 1,000. Until we did $22,000 in 14 days. The guy came in a university, he's another professor, he said, he's a business professor. He said, Abdul, I'm doing this, a pizza house that I have, it's going down for 2 years, I'm not even having a breakthrough and everything. It's because it's behind there, we couldn't sell it. I said, don't worry, I'm gonna discuss with my students. I had a class in the morning, 7:30, I had 14 students, everybody was sleeping and all that, but nobody sleeps in my class. Because I shared the project. I said, you're going to learn from this. I said, we're going to do something that we're going to help this guy make his business grow. So we started a campaign in the university, come and make your own pizza. If your pizza is approved, this pizza house will start a new pizza by your name. So they had fruit pizza, ice cream, everything that you could think about. People came up and they created pizza. They took it over there, they bake it, fail, they bake it, fail. They did the different, but every time they're getting new clients. People are coming, okay, we're doing our, but my family needs this, my family needs that. Okay, so, and then we had this invitation that, bring your families and all that. And finally we went to every school nearby, university and nearby that pizza house, to giving people the free pizza. So we did many things, small things. And this guy came in and said, no, it's not just a break even. It's not just the 4 days that you guys did the campaign. Our phone is still constantly ringing every day. Thank you so much what you guys have done. And you will say, Abdul, you did it. I did not. The student did it. Practical is the way to teach the business, nothing else. So I said, that's enough. There's another type of experiments that I want to do now. I said that in American corporate, you have to have a CEO, then CFO, then CMO, then behind there the VP of channel, the VP of sales, the VP of that. So I had the classroom that I would have everyone divided that way. You are this, you are this, you are this. and you're not going to move until this comes to you. The way the corporations work. In another classroom, I said, you're nobody. If anyone have guts in you who will automatically become CV, if anyone have a gut can be a leader, if anyone have gut can be a salesperson, if anyone, so you decide on your own. But the goal was same in the same classrooms. I did that experiments over and over again for 6 months. Every time I divided the class into CEO and CFO, they failed. Every time I allowed them to do it on your own, they achieved the goal, double, triple, they achieved the goal before time. Many, many times this happened. So I learned whatever, not just the practical, but whatever that we are learning people how to do business is also failing. That's why we see in so many companies say, why my things are not done yet? Because it's not on my table. Someone else is supposed to bring it here, then I can move forward. Don't we hear that complaint every day? But there are other companies, they don't have this, they have project managers. One project manager goes out and hires their own people, they hire their own team, and he tells everyone, you're doing this on your own. I don't care how you're going to do this, you're a team, you're going to do it all together. And this is the time, and that's when it should be done. There's no 9 to 5, there's no suit and tie, nothing. Do it. So they're doing it morning, afternoon, whenever they have time, but goal is achieved. And every time it's 9 to 5, and I'm the CEO, and I'm the CFO, and let me see, what's your name? This, okay, let me call the CFO. Somebody's calling it. Yeah, it's not on my table. Yeah, okay. Let me check. He's calling the marketing manager. Yeah, it's been, this happened, that happened. The communication gap is more when you divide people by some their designation and your job description and all that, and things just do not move forward. And I know people are saying, the economy is going down, that this is going down, and by the way, it is. We were promised just by our president that the trillions of dollars of debts will go away. It's more trillions over us now. And people, I don't know how many of you read the journals, so many companies are not in profit. One of the reasons, not everything, one of the reasons is that this designation things that are going on. We're just holding that so strict because that gives me a bossy position, but there are other small companies that are switching to project management. And let's have this project done by one person, this project done by one person, and they are blooming the way up. So I'm going to end it now by saying one thing is that the economy is going down because in past 100 years, the image that US has given to the world is that US is like a well, if you want to say. When you have a well and no one has the water, everyone comes and gets some water from you. This happened with US for 250 years. But in past 100 years, there are others who have now their own wells. And when you have a well, people come to you, and then you choose, you're not honest, you're not good, so I'm not going to do business with you, I'm going to do business with you. If you don't, bye-bye, we don't need you. Well, when then other people have well, and now you need their water, you have to be a little bit down, the first impression thing. You have to have now a good impression, you have to now be honest, you have to make them secure, you have to develop that trust with them. We're not doing that, we're not teaching that. And then we're just saying, who's going to be the next Facebook, who's going to be next? We are very good in technology, we're not good in business. We're not teaching our entrepreneurs how to make money, we're teaching them everything else. We have great people in this country with great ideas, but they haven't went outside and make a single dollar with their money. You give them that money, they go out, they lost money. Multi-billion dollars are lost every year alone in US. I don't know if you guys know, Kickstarter in April had 10 years completed. 162 backers, 162 million backers on Kickstarter. People who back different projects. Only 20,000 of projects ever succeed. I don't know if you guys know or not, last year someone started a company, it's online, kickfurther.com. What is that? You took the money from Kickstarter, you blew up, now come to the further, we gave you again, and then you blew up again. I can predict that very soon we will have a website, kickalltheway.com. So you keep failing, keep getting money, keep failing, we keep funding. Because most people think my life is not good, my business is not good because I'm not getting fund. It's not the fund, it's the skills, a set of skills. You have to do the practical, you have to learn through practical. When you become that strong person, every investor is looking to invest in people with skills and not with someone who had great ideas. I've been reaching to many investors, and they have on their website 10 commandments. And they have, by the way, 9 out of 10 are all gonna fail, so don't reach me so hard. This is this, so don't tell me this. And nowhere it says, which is what I'm sharing here, is the practical part. So I started, when I came to US, I started reaching to all the universities because I only had university experience. And out of those maybe 25, 30 universities that I reached, one line reply that I got from them, well, you're not Mr. PhD, so don't ever think about reaching to us. One line. Some of them even not even bothered to reply to me. And some who did, they said, so we have this PhD program, why don't you first take that program and then you become PhD and then teach us what you did in that university. So I did so many things here. I started to make a company and all that, and then I found the investors just want to get the 60% equity of it. I said, what's the difference, Abdul? So I finally created this DINAMIKA School of Entrepreneurship, which is a 100% non-profit institution. It's free classes. It will remain free. If it won't, then I'm not an honest business. My business is not an honest business. But the thing is, I'm sharing this message for you and other people to go and talk about it. Because if something that I share with you does not good for you, for your children, or the next generation, or the people who do not have second chance in life, they only have chance to take this course, 100 days, they make that money in 100 days, 100 students all together, and then we give them graduation certificate. If they don't, they can take the course again, it's free, but you're not graduated because you haven't done that, practically earned that. And let me share one thing, and I'm going to end that. For 6.5 years, close to 7 years, I taught in that university, and the word went out, people started interviewing me, I was in radio, I was in other universities, please come and do the same thing in our university. And by that time, yo podría hablar español también, and I could speak Spanish, so I did everything at that point. Rifles and everything. But the thing is, this is the beautiful part, that I'm coming on Mr. DINAMIKA, and I have that college students coming behind me. I want to take course with you, the DINAMIKA professor. Yeah, I am. My major is psychology, but I'm going to still take course with you. I said, wow, psychology students taking marketing course. Something has done. And I would literally have students sitting in my classroom, psychology major or any other major, social something, and they would say, I want to switch to your class because this is what I'm looking in my entire life that someone does this to me, and no one have done that. So after 3 years, it switched to marketing and the major and all that. And I had other students who come that, this is my last course in this university, and I'm regretting everything that I've studied. But I swear to God this happened to them because practical is what they can relate. So this is the good part. And the professors are loving me, and even PhDs are coming to me. Can you read my thesis and all that? You doing that? This is the good part, nice part. Right? You cannot have nice without mean. There are other professors who are threatened by me. Who are you? Are you following McGraw-Hill? Are you following, who are you? What, who are you? You're not even PhD, who do you think you are? And I know they're talking to high echelon, and the word is going up. And now I'm constantly having this every 6 months to 8 months a meeting where everybody's sitting, and I'm just sitting in front of them, like under a scrutiny, answering them. Well, you're trying to take a university or something? Who are you? What do you think you are? And I'm saying, just nobody sleeps in my classroom. Classroom is the most dynamic classroom. Students are learning. 17 years old, just in my classroom, started his own business. I'm giving your country what you're looking for, the real entrepreneurs. Don't you agree with that? Everybody will go. But you're not following, because the following countries, the third world countries, the biggest dilemma is that we want to follow the leaders. Nobody's doing that in US, Abdul. Nobody's doing that in England. Why are you doing it there? Go do there, then come here, then we will follow you. So this thing was going on, this itchy-bitchy every day. And finally, 1 year started, academic year, they didn't give me a course. They didn't have the power to come and tell me you're fired. They fired me. I had the courage, I went over there. I said, what happened? Let me call the other director. By that time, the other director, everything was changed. The new people now. What happened? Well, I'm not going to get it. Am I not the best professor? I've been winning the best professor title for 2-3 years. Why this is not? Why this is not? No, you're right. Everything is good. But Abdul, your DINAMIKA, your this projects and this and all that. I said, fire me on my face. They didn't have power to fire me. But I said, okay. So that night when I came home, I said, I had a heart of service. I literally went over there. I didn't know, I was not even a teacher. I thank you guys, you made me a teacher. I found a voice inside me that I can teach. I'm meant to be a teacher, I'm gonna teach that. I would find a way to make my service go all over the world. This is one of the reasons why I'm standing in front of you today. So the good part, the bad part, and everything. So this is where I want to end. And I thank you guys for being here, for taking the time to listening to me. That's my life, that's where I am. If you have any questions, I'm here for us. So thank you.